Last time on Square Roots, we put the hammer down for the Temple of Light, star in our favorite Arthur Miller play, and hop a boat for destiny. Meanwhile, John and Jim murder their respective spouses in a marital bloodbath. Ah, love.
Jim, did you murder your spouse?
No.
Sure you did.
But I guess it's canon now.
Murdered his spouses.
It's canon. It's canon. Can't go against the last time.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Can I have a nickname because John's not here?
Matthew Commandant Van Zant.
Okay. Good picking a word out from the notes in front of you.
That's exactly what I did. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa. Where's John?
John is absent this week.
John's working.
I can't even remember the last time John missed an episode.
He never has. He never has.
He's never missed an episode?
Really?
Yeah, he's never missed an episode.
This is our first threefer, free without John?
Yeah, it is.
No shackles, no restrictions?
I know. We can do whatever we want.
It's a totally
no
new
law,
vibe.
no order.
This is a brand new vibe, guys. We're just vibing.
Should we do drugs while he's gone? Should the three of us do drugs together?
Let's see. This is the podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs like Fable 2.
What? Fable 2 is great.
Fable 2 needed a subtitle, I think. Like Fable 2 the Spire.
Why did with 3 they decide to tack on a shitty mini, like, King mini game and not just expand on, like, the open world and just kind of what they had? Because it's so good. And then they go and fuck it up.
Fable 3 is good?
Fable 2 is good.
Oh. Fable 2. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's alright.
You fucking played through it in a weekend.
That doesn't mean it's good.
It does, actually. It's kind of the definition. Kind of the definition of so good that he couldn't put it down. But now, like a month later, Jim's like, oh, I don't know.
I played through mini games in a weekend, and they weren't all good.
You know, it's lockdown. We do the best we can.
We're trying. We're all just trying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to talk about how you leveled up this past week? I know we all have stuff.
Yes, we all have stuff.
You know what? I'm going to go first this week.
Do
Nice.
I am on a real Stephen King rampage. I went to a place called Half Price Books over the weekend and bought a bunch of Stephen King paperbacks. And I just
Half Price Books down there. I love a Half Price.
Yeah, they got a bunch
Yeah.
of them.
I've actually been to that Half Price Books. I bought a bunch of books for my kids there a few years ago.
Yeah, there's like 3,
Awesome.
4, or 5 of them in the Metroplex. But I went to the one closest to me, bought a bunch of Stephen King paperbacks. I just finished Salem's Lot, which is probably my favorite Stephen King novel. It's about vampires in a small town, and it's pretty good, and it's got some good scares in it. I have since, in the past 24 hours, watched the most recent adaptation starring Rob Lowe. That is very bad. And I just finished watching the 1979 adaptation directed by Tom Hooper that is very like schlocky 70s like TV horror, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
Way better than the Rob Lowe
big
one.
Thumbs down on the new remake.
You know,
That's
like
so
I have a
bummer.
real fondness for it, like so much of a fondness that like I bought the DVD and I leave it out because I watch it sometimes. But man, it's really bad. Like there's Rob Lowe. Basically half the dialogue is Rob Lowe talking about how evil small towns are, and then he's talking to another character that somehow talks like they're the town. Like, no, the town isn't rotten, you are. And like there's all kinds of like weird dialogue like that. It's really hammy. And the vampires
Was
are
the
not
town
scary.
evil in Salem's Lot? I just remember
No,
it being
but
about
it's got
vampires.
lots of like small towns have dark secrets kind of commentary shit in it.
Anyway.
That's a great sounding book, Jim. Salem's Lot.
Yeah. Well, yep. Matthew, how did you level up?
Ooh, I've been playing a fun game. It's called The Messenger. It's on Xbox Game Pass, and it's fun. The Messenger is a game where you play as a ninja, and it looks like a Ninja Gaiden game, basically. But it's like a hot indie game, and it had some fun meta commentary, and I've hit, I think, either the end of the game or maybe the middle of the game. I think the end. I'm in like the time tower, whatever. It's crazy. It's fun. And you should check it out. It's like a Ninja Gaiden, but like a modern, I don't know how to describe it, guys. It's not that complicated. It's a Ninja Gaiden. It's a Ninja Gaiden, but it looks way better than a Ninja Gaiden can look. And it's not Ninja Gaiden. It's got kind of a plot, and there's some characters. It's fun, but it's that gameplay, that super hard platforming gameplay.
Is his message like he's delivering letters and things, or is his message a sword through your stomach?
His message is a scroll that he has to deliver, but he does have to put a lot of swords in stomachs in order to get to the location that he needs to get to deliver his message.
I see.
It really is a great game if you like those, if you like retro platformers. It's got smart writing that is funny and engaging. Like, there's a shopkeeper, and you can ask him to tell you a story every time you find a new entrance to the shop, and he will like tell different fables and morals, and like it's pretty entertaining. And sometimes he comments on you and on the game and on what you're doing. It's good stuff. I also bought a book, but I haven't finished it, but I'm still going to talk about it. It's called A Libeartarian Walks Into a Bear.
Oh, that's what this note means. You've written Libertarian Bear in our document here. I was very confused.
It's about a town in New Hampshire that got overtaken by libertarians during the 2000s in what was called the Freetown Project, and how their dismantling of the local government led to a bear population to move in, and led to the first, I think, attack on a human being by a bear in North America in a long, long time. And it's pretty entertaining, and I think you should all check it out. It's a fun, kind of historical, but also modern times take on stuff. He does a lot of dunking on libertarians, which I don't mind. Not a lot of dunking on, but a lot of
ever for the Libertarians to get their own like little country, as is their dream, and just to film it, like just make it a reality show. It would be so entertaining.
I mean, if you're interested in the book, it did happen in 2004. A bunch of like 100 or 150 libertarians moved to this New Hampshire town that had a tiny population and kind of took over the government. They did it intentionally. It was called the Freetown Project. They were going to go out there and show everybody how great they were, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, well, they got their freedom, and that's what happens.
They got their freedom.
I read something. It was a New York Times opinion article, and it had a bunch of different people talking about the election and things like that. And one of them was famous libertarian Penn Jillette. And he said, yeah, I used to identify as a libertarian and hate everything Biden voted for, and then I voted for Biden, because what else can you do in this country?
Is he still a libertarian?
Says he doesn't identify as one anymore.
I don't hate libertarianism overall. It's kind of another, well, it is kind of really beloved by dipshits, but it's like a shitty dude fantasy. Kind of, yeah, I agree. But I feel like people should be, like, that's a fine thing to believe. Like, I don't think the government should interfere in people's lives. And for the most part, when you're not making that about, like, consent ages, it's fine. Go do your thing. Go live in the woods. It's a big country. You can live in the woods and not pay taxes and not take part in society and be a weirdo that fucks bears. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, but they want all the benefits of society without having to pay for it.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's the problem with it. It's the same problem that a lot of these things have, which is that you kind of, like, for it to work, you have to live in a utopia where everybody gets along.
Right.
Also, you have to willing to, like, not be, like, a selfish asshole and actually, like,
that's the other thing.
Poor people.
That's the big flaw in all of these great, it doesn't really matter if you're a capitalist or a communist or fucking whatever, because at the end of the day, they all have the same fatal flaw, which is that they're people, and people are selfish pieces of shit who will happily become corrupt and take fucking whatever, and that's just the way, I don't know. That's fucking the way it is.
You can't just will history away. It's like...
It's not just history.
Wealth is already imbalanced because of, horrific acts 200, 100 years ago.
You can't just say, all right, we have a libertarian government now and remove all of the context that's been a part of the government for the last
It's like
years.
Maybe if you took all the money and distributed it evenly to everyone and was like, now we're libertarians.
I mean, I don't think that's a great... I mean, you don't think that has the same flaw? Definitely it does. I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't strive for equality and economic equality, because I certainly think we should, but, there's still going to be shitty people that take advantage of fucking everybody else, because that's... I don't know. That's just the way it is.
This is if John were here, this is where he would jump in and be like, all right,
true.
Vanessa, how did you level up?
100% true.
I'm usually the one that gets all mad about the politics talks and is like, let's not. I just want this show to be like an island. It's just a show. We can not talk about all that shit and give people, because I know that I am so inundated with it. Anywhere that I can go where I don't have to hear about it, I love. But
you just want the show to exist outside of society and government and be totally self-reliant.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
And eventually we're going to get attacked by a bear. But it's John.
I want this show to be a safe space that people can come to and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about the troubles of today.
Oh, Snowflake wants a safe space.
All right. Who's the libertarian now?
Time
Go back
for
to
my
Vanessa.
college.
Hey, Vanessa.
Yeah.
How did you level up?
I didn't do anything, Matt.
That's all right.
I got this PlayStation 5, and all I've been doing is playing on it.
So you leveled up by playing a bunch of Assassin's Creed.
I leveled up by playing a bunch of Assassin's Creed, which I don't want to talk about here and now because we're going to talk about it later.
Next month.
And another time. And two big events in my life. I sat down in Animal Crossing. They released a new patch for November and December, and it finally lets your character sit on the ground, so that was really exciting. And Destiel's real, so that was trending on Twitter.
Is it?
Everyone's really excited about that.
Is who, what, I don't... You know
okay,
what? Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is that no, that's Castiel is from Supernatural, right?
Well, you have it half right, because Destiel is a portmanteau.
No, I refuse.
It is. And it's like, what did they used to call her? Benifer.
Oh, is it Dean and Castiel?
Yeah.
So the ship is still trending. Didn't that show end?
It is ending as we speak right now, as we record this episode.
Oh, why didn't you?
You
should have said that. We would have still had to record, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Big congrats to our friend John, who worked on that show in post for many, many years.
That's right,
congratulations,
ladies and gentlemen.
John.
He's never wanted to admit it on the show, I think, before, but John
He's admitted it several times.
is responsible for the show's Supernatural.
Yeah.
Do you like Supernatural? My friend, I actually have some friends that have started watching Supernatural in the recently, and if you think that I have not pulled out, oh, my friend John works on that show, I fucking certainly have. I for sure have. At one point, somebody was like, get him to get me something, and I was like, I'll try, and I asked John, and he was like, get the fuck out of here.
John, send me some dailies, bro.
Send me some dailies, dude. Send me a signed baseball.
Stuff. He does have a Supernatural wall calendar behind him when we record.
He's got a cool.
So
he has at least one Supernatural cast jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Destiel, that's Dean and Castiel. For years, people did ship them. A ship is when you are unsatisfied with a show's romantic subplots, and so you think of your own. And many times show creators are aware of this and will do sort of hints and teases to keep the fans who are interested in these characters having a romantic relationship interested. So in the last episode, Castiel did tell Dean that he loves him in a romantic way. And then, of course, he immediately died, because that's what happens when you're gay.
Oh, that's a huge bummer.
Yep, that's your spoilers about Destiel. Good job, Supernatural. I can't wait to never watch you again. I've watched it for 15 years. That's not true. I started watching it in like 2012, I think.
So 8 years.
And yeah, I needed something like stupid to watch, and it had been on for so long at that point that there were many stupid episodes to binge. And then I was friends with John, and so I kept watching it. I think I was his only friend who watched the show he worked on, so had to keep doing
That's
that.
funny.
And yeah, it's had its moments, and it's also not. But I'm done.
But we're ready for the quest log now.
I guess I'll talk about Destiel some more. Castiel's played by actor Misha Collins, who, fun fact, was a intern at the Clinton White House. Though, no jokes, please. He did not know Monica, from what I understand.
Do you imagine anyone from that show having like a good post-supernatural career?
That's a difficult question to answer. Certainly some of them will continue to have the career that they have already, which is occasional character actor roles and then also directing television episodes. The tall one, Pat Blackback, is going to be on the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger.
What?
So that's a thing.
You're a Walker, Texas Ranger?
Yeah, I'm a Walker, Texas Ranger. And then the other one, Ackles, is going to be on The Boys. So that'll be fun. But do I think that they are going to suddenly transition to like film? No. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you never do know, that's true. But there's nothing wrong with being a television actor. I don't want to say it like that.
I was thinking the other day, like, when movies start getting made again, who knows what maybe there won't be cinemas. Maybe they'll want to cut their budgets down and start like putting TV actors in like regular movies now.
Yeah, I don't know.
We could see like a real death of the kind of modern movie industry here in the next like year. I mean, I think it'll come back around. I don't think there's ever going to be not a demand for like a big old room to go watch a giant movie in.
People like shared experiences.
But like AMC might not last, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I also kind of don't give a fuck. Who fucking cares about these movie theater chains?
I'm kind of bummed like if like Draft House goes under. I like Draft House. They like curate cool films and have neat film series. But yeah, I get your point.
I think the future film will be more like Draft House. I think we'll see more and more places that serve meals and liquor, and
it becomes more of a niche
kind
interest.
Of thing.
Everything is becoming more of a niche interest
because there's so much more to be interested in.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my real answer. Now that I've had time to think about it.
What was the question?
The actors in Supernatural.
Oh.
They have like only played the same character for like 15 years, so it's really difficult to actually know what kind of actors they are, I bet
they were young when they started, and I bet
they were super
real
young.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that getting started in acting, like, that they say that those people like freeze in time from when they get famous,
Yeah.
Like, fucking famous people can't like text and shit because they don't know. Because they don't have to do anything for themselves.
I will say, like Jensen Ackles, that he's got some charisma. Mm-hmm. That guy can hold the screen, I think.
I mean, not like a movie theater screen, though.
Yeah, I mean, he was in that My Bloody Valentine remake. That's fucking shitty.
Yeah, terrible. And again, it's like, how much opportunity have they had to really explore their range? Like, they've done a lot on the show itself, but it's still at the heart of it the same characters.
It is the same character. Yeah, you're playing the same guy. You can have him laugh, cry, go through hell, but you're still playing the same guy.
Yeah, so it's difficult. I hope that they are able to find niches for themselves. I suspect it may be more in the directing realm for some of them than performing.
I mean, that show was on the air long enough that you can't imagine that they're ever going to need to like work again.
No, and they can always go to their like conventions and make loads of money from that.
Yeah. Assuming we get conventions back.
They do them still, Matt. They do them on the internet.
Ugh.
You can pay to go on a Zoom call. You can even pay for like 10 minutes of one-on-one time with your favorite actor.
I've never understood that. I've also never been a guy that cares about getting autographs and stuff like that. I don't understand it. What's the point of talking to these people? What do you think they're gonna have to say to you that's gonna be worth your time?
I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw, I think, Gilbert Gottfried post something about his cameo, and I was thinking, what a backdoor way to get a guest on the podcast for 2 minutes is to hire a B celebrity on Cameo for 3 minutes and just have him dial in.
I'm sure that part of the agreement is that you're not going to reproduce the content. Unfortunately.
It can't be public or whatever. But
all right, well, we have been dicking around here at the end of the level up segment for 5 minutes longer than we needed to. This is going to be a nice tight episode, gang. Are we all excited about it?
Super excited.
Since I'm Notes Boy, does somebody else want to sing us into the quest log like I like to do sometimes, Vanessa?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
The quest log. The quest log.
I like it.
I want to go. Quest, log, quest, log.
Okay.
Right? It's more upbeat.
Yeah, that was also very good.
Yeah.
Now let's do them both at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go. The
quest, log, quest, log.
The quest log.
All right, hey.
Let's talk about Bob.
Let's talk about Bob.
Yeah.
This is, we left off.
What about
last
Bob?
time we got to the Spire, and this time we're going to live through it. Or are we? Uh-oh. We are. Day 1, you're going to get inducted into the Spire, and you're going to meet your new best friend, Bob. And Bob's great. He's nice, and he has a nice family that he talks about. I think that things are going to turn out very well for Bob.
We got a pretty good cutscene going to the Spire. It actually made my frame rate stutter a little bit. It was harnessing so much power of the Xbox. And the Spire's interesting. It's this big black tower, which has lots of archways and things and walkways carved into it.
I have a weird, what's what I'm looking for? Not familiarity, but a weird love for wizards in their towers. You know what I mean? That's a real old fantasy concept that I kind of like a lot. So I like the Spire because it's like a big wizard's tower, except for their will users.
And the ground does pulse. Did you notice that? It was vibing my controller right up.
Yeah, it does. The ground does pulse. We do meet Lucian here again, or we see him again, and he's all old now. And he he gives a little rant that I don't really remember, where he talks about how shitty the world is and how he wants to fucking change it into his image, which sounds terrible. You're an asshole.
He explains his whole deal here. I don't remember what he said.
I remember what he said.
Dialogue, line for line. I'll play the hero.
All right. Welcome to the Spire. You like to believe that the outside world is governed by laws and rules, but
here's where I use the fart emoji.
Not. It's governed by chaos. And chaos doesn't ensure that the good are rewarded and the evil suffer. Chaos.
Here's where I use my kiss my ass emoji.
Impacts all at
what emojis
random.
are they? What do they call them in this game?
Reactions?
Expressions.
Oh, expressions.
Here's where I use the kiss my ass expression.
So here, we will overcome chaos, and I will rebuild the world in my image with my order.
I mean, what's sad is that, unfortunately, here in the real world today, we see very clear parallels to people exactly like this that are just I don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, and then he says, all I require from you is your obedience, and it's oh, so you just want me to, blindly believe everything you say and not think for myself. Sounds cool!
That's what freedom is, okay?
That's how you freedom
that's
to
what our
follow
founding fathers fought
fascist
for.
Piece of shit and believe every lie he tells me.
Yeah, letting the government control the way you think is the ultimate expression of liberty.
We do get some, date lines here. We get day 1 when we meet Bob and see Lucian get his speech. And then we get week 1. Now that tell us about this collar that we're wearing.
They shaved my head.
Just to set it up for... Oh, that's right. They shave you. Just to set it up for the listeners, the way this works is... You go there, they take all your items, or Teresa keeps all your items, so you have nothing. The dog's not even with you. And they do make you change clothes into the Spire Guard outfit, and they do shave you and remove all your bullshit. And, like, it's pretty lame. The uniform that they give you does have, like, a collar on it, and the collar, they tell you, the collar will make you obey.
Yes, it will sap your will and take your memories away.
And they say if you try to take it off, you'll die.
It takes your XP?
It does.
I didn't know that.
It does. So Jim clearly played it as straight edge as he could.
Jim obeyed as much as possible.
I really did. I was afraid. Plus, I'm a patriot. So
we run into Bob again, and he chats at us, and we run into Garth. Garth is the hero of Will that we tried to recruit at the Brightwood Tower last week,
Yeah.
but were unable to because the Spire Guard showed up and kidnapped him.
He's in
so
prison.
We're here to save him.
He's in a little
he's
cell.
in prison.
But good news is he's telepathic, and so he just tells you like, "Hey, what's up?"
Is he?
Yeah, he's like,
I guess that makes sense.
I know who you are. I know why you're here. I see Bob here. Your friend is guarding me. That's cool. Just be super patient. Like, go along with it. It's going to take a while.
He seems pretty cool with it.
But yeah, just be chill.
Then we have to go see the Commandant, and he's like the boss of the Spire. I think he showed up last week, right?
He's like Lucien's right-hand man.
Yeah, he's just a dude, really. He's not... He has like a funny hat on, and he wears a collar that covers up most of his face.
I don't think it's a hat. I think he's a Darth Maul.
Or maybe he's a Darth Maul with like a triangle head.
Yeah, he has like little hornies sticking out of his head.
We're definitely going to... He's the boss of the Spire, so we're totally going to have to kill him eventually. Like, you know it from the minute you see him. You're like, oh, I have to kill you. Okay.
Yeah.
He tells us... He shows up. He shows us the Spire in like a little cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells you, like, I'm going to hit you and you're going to thank me. And then he hits you with like a stick. And you get to choose between thanking him or telling him or like giving him a rude gesture. Mm-hmm. And if you give him a rude gesture like I did, it sucks away a bunch of your fucking XP. Not a bunch, but a little bit of your XP like pops out.
I did say thank you, Daddy, every time he hit me.
I did not because I'm a tough guy. So then it skips ahead. We get a new dateline. It's week 38. Bob has forgotten about his family, and now he's torturing people. He sucks.
Yeah, Bob is like,
what about Bob?
As you know, the collars do sap your memory if you disobey. So it seems that's what happened to Bob, because he's talking about like some new recruit who was punished for saying he missed his family, and the Bob's like, I'm glad I don't have a family. Ha ha ha. Anyway, time to torture some people.
Yeah. And a guard tells you to report to the detention center. You run past Garth, and he tells you again, like, just be patient. It's been fucking 38 weeks, Garth. Like, 38 weeks? Come on. At the detention center, a guard tells you to guard some guys while he takes, like, a break or whatever. Like, he just fucks off for a smoke, basically. Mm-hmm. And there's this complicated mechanism where he's like, these people are being starved to death, but there's a lever here that will feed them, but we don't use it because we're starving them. Like, why have food loaded up on a machine that'll feed the prisoners if you're just starving to death? You don't need all this. You can just put them in the cell and leave them there until they're dead.
I gave one guy food once, and I felt like the punishment was so severe. I just ran away from this area. Like, because I didn't want to listen to them, and I didn't want to give them food, so I just ran off.
I gave them food until I passed out. I do know that our friend Johnny did not give them food and instead danced for them and did other entertaining gestures.
Yeah, I just hung out. Like, who cares? I put my controller down and just, like, read Twitter. I don't give a shit. I played this about as evil as I can. I actually do get, like, twinges of regret sometimes. Like, it does not feel great, but also it is what it is. It's a game. It's a game. So yeah, that can hurt you, or you can get through it. Then it skips to a new dateline. It's week 137. Now it's been 100 weeks since the last time. The Commandant calls you to his chambers or whatever, to his office, and Bob is there, and he tells you to kill Bob. And you can either kill Bob or you can get in a fight with the Commandant here. I don't know what happens if you get in a fight with the Commandant. I just killed Bob.
I hit the Commandant with my sword and did get punished for it.
Did they kill Bob anyway?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But he didn't die by my hand.
Yeah, whatever. And now we get a final dateline here. It says, many years later. The Commandant calls on you again, and he tells you that there's a guard missing, and we go and have to search for this guard through the prison, through the Spire. And when you find him, he's dead, and Garth is there, and Garth is like, oh, I'm fucking finally free, which is great. It took long enough. It's weird that they sent us here to do this, but we do not assist him in his escape.
Right? Yeah.
You don't smuggle him a key or a lockpick, nothing?
Yeah, because there was even a line go see where this guard is, and if he's derelict, take him to the torture chamber. And I thought, okay, cool, I'm going to take him there, and then Garth's going to be in the torture chamber. Nope. Garth is just there.
Yep, Garth's just there. He's broken free on his own. He uses the last of his will to remove your collar. And you get some weapons and stuff off the guard, and now it's finally time to escape. And basically, this comes down to running back through the prison, killing guards along the way, getting to the tower, killing the Commandant, and then Garth, sucks up your XP from killing the Commandant, which is pretty interesting, and I thought it was funny. And then he uses that to open the Cullis Gates and blow up all of the ships that are in the harbor. Did you guys have a tough time with the Commandant?
I did. I thought he was super hard, and I got knocked out a bunch of times, man. Probably no less than 5 times, I bet.
Yeah.
I had no issues at all.
I'd never been locked out in this game, and I left this tower with so many scars. I have a claw mark scar right across my beautiful face now.
That's cool. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't find it hard at all. I don't know. Do y'all use the time stop all the time?
Yeah, but
No.
I think I was trying to use it and then use melee, which was a mistake because I hadn't put enough points into it, and I sort of forgot about that. But if I use it and then I just shoot people, I do a lot better.
Interesting.
I think you probably
focused.
have been knocked out, but you just don't realize it. It happens very quickly.
I got knocked out. I didn't say I've never been knocked out. I got knocked out once, but I had a resurrection vial. But I did get one scar from it when I just got swarmed by Hobbs or something in a random dungeon. So I do know what happens. I did not have an issue with the Commandant. I have level 4 time stop, and I just charge that up, and then I run around and kill everything with because you can use that finesse maneuver where you hold down the attack button for a moment, and it rumbles the controller, and you'll do a strong attack, basically. You can do that to everyone, and it knocks them all down. So then you can just stop and recharge your time stop. I mean, people have been saying it breaks the game because you can just, and then by the time you're done recharging your time stop, they've all gotten back up, and you just let it go again, and you just go around and fucking hit them all again.
I see. I was only on level 3 time stop. I am at level 4 now.
I mean, level 3 was great too. The higher it got, I mean, it just stretches it out longer and longer. It gives you more and more time between needing to recharge your time stop before you. I mean, it even works against the bosses where they slow down and you can walk up to them and get a couple of really good whacks on them. Sometimes even fucking 5 or 6 before they can even respond. It's
I've
crazy.
never done the rumbly X attack, so maybe I should try that.
There's supposed to be a way, I think, to string them together, but I can't. I have not been able to do that. But I also am kind of button mashing my way through it.
Yeah. Yeah. The first rumbly X, the first flourish, is enough to break every enemy's block. So you never really have to do more than that.
The only thing that doesn't work on it is forest trolls. Yeah. You can even use the time stop at level 4 and have enough time to get off a couple of level 3 fire or electricities. It's crazy how long it... It's crazy. I have been collecting XP in Will and not getting the next level of my attack spells because I'm I should just get the level 5 time stop next. Particularly once I went and got that sword that Jim mentioned in the last episode, the Daichi. It's stupid. It's stupid. Anyway, so Garth does blow up all the ships, and we get a little cutscene here. He turns on the Cullis Gate.
All except one, because that's the ship we escape on.
Oh, the ships. Yes, he does. He blows them all up except for one, and we escape on the last one. And we get back to Oakvale. No, it's not Oakvale. Where do we get back to?
It is Oakvale, I think. Isn't it?
No.
Oakvale?
Yeah. Oakvale isn't where we left from, but that is where we arrive back at.
No.
Yes.
Oakvale is the town from the first game that is going to feature later in this episode as the Wraith March.
Oakwood, then. It's called
Maybe
Oak
it's
something.
Brightwood.
It's Brightwood.
No, Brightwood's a different thing. It's called Oak something.
Oak.
Oakton.
Not worth arguing about. So you head back to the main land. You get back to the mainland. You run into Teresa immediately, of course. She and your dog. She gives you all your stuff back so you can re-outfit yourself.
Oakfield.
Okay. And Teresa quickly convinces Garth to come and work with her, of course. Teresa tells you that Hammer's waiting for you at an inn in Rookridge. And now at this point, you can kind of go screw around. Did anybody go... Did everybody give 5,000 gold to the guy in... What was it? Was it Rookridge that had the camp?
No, it was...
Westcliff.
Westcliff.
Yes.
Did
everybody go check out the revised Westcliff? It's totally different. It's like a nice, prosperous little town now.
Oh, I didn't do that, and mine's still a shitty camp.
Yeah, my town is there. It's pretty nice. It does have lots of family entertainment, as the guy says, including a brothel. I also went back to see my husband and child, and turns out they waited for me, which I thought was nice. Very nice.
By child waited for you, do you mean it didn't age?
It did age. Yeah, my husband came out and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're back. Whoa, this is the happiest day of my life." Then he goes, "I have someone very important I want you to meet, your daughter." And then she comes out and she's like, "Are you my mommy?"
Wow. Is she like a 10-year-old?
Yeah, she's like 10 now.
Wow.
And he can be like, "Yes, I'm your mummy." And he's like, "Oh, she says all the time she wants to be an adventurer just like you. And we've waited so long." And then they're like, "Please stay with us for a while." And I was like, nope. And start to head to the exit. And the little girl was like, "Daddy, where's Mommy going? You said she would stay." And so I was like, fine. And I like slept for 7 days in the bed and gave them presents and
wow, what quality time.
Yeah, played with them, things like that. Had sex with my husband. And the daughter is just a delight. She walks up to me all the time and says, "Hello, I'm a little princess." And I'm like, "Yes, you are."
My character is still a virgin. I do kind of hate his guts is the thing, and he does not deserve sex from anyone.
That's fair.
I've only hooked up with one person in my game, and I forgot that I was playing as a female, and I had condoms in my inventory, and it's like, would you like to use a condom? And I was like, yes. But it would not let me select it, and it took me a couple of minutes to figure out why. It's because I'm playing as a female, or a woman,
right?
And
Jim's learned a lot,
so I can't use a condom. Yeah, so. But yeah, I've only had sex once.
That's a disappointing because we're going to run into a lot of toots at the end of this episode, and
it was one of the toots. It was one of the toots that I betted.
I was hoping for some toot action. Anyway, so we do head to. At this point, you can head to. You can run around. We talked about it.
Oakfield looks nice. Like
it's not Oakville.
Oakfield looked nice because I had saved the Temple of Light, so the town is thriving. Has 8 new houses. It's very pretty.
Oh, really? I don't know that I really went there, to be honest with you. I did, because I did go on a diet and eat a bunch of celery and run back and forth between shops. So you do you go to the inn at Rookridge and you meet up with Hammer, and she basically all she says is like, "Hey, I know where to get information on the third hero. And I'm gonna go get it," and she bails, and you're kind of left to sit around and wait, which I thought was neat. If you think about it, I don't know if it was intentional, but it felt like a neat little nod to early on she was restless and wanted to get out. Now you've been gone for 10 years, and Teresa's probably been relying on her, and so when she needs some info, she doesn't come to you and then go sit and wait in the guild cave. She goes and does it.
Oh,
she goes and gets the thing.
That's a good observation. Good for her.
Yeah.
And you go hang out in the Cave of Heroes, or whatever the fuck it's called, the Guild Cave, and wait. And, well, you don't have to do that. You can go dick around. But you go, and she comes back with a great story about who she believes is the third hero. It's a thief named Reaver.
A pirate?
She says that a pirate named Reaver, and she says that he's well known because he makes such amazing shots with his pistols that he can get crews to surrender with just one shot, which they explain as he does such incredible shots to manage to somehow kill the captain of the ship that he's after. that the rest of the men are like, holy shit, and just kind of give up.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, I can't believe it. Garth is also there, and Garth and Hammer do not get along. Garth is like, oh, you got that information in a bar, huh? Ugh, drunk. And then she's like, I'm going to hammer your spell fingers with my hammer.
Who cares, Garth? Like, why you got to be so stuck up about it? Info's info.
Garth just, he's awful. He's a neg. But he has been imprisoned for like over a decade, so I guess he has some trauma.
I feel like the voice actor for Garth is somebody I should know.
Like you want to get to know them?
No, like is it like a name? Like
why don't you look it up and tell us?
An actor? You know what? Let's look it up. Garth Fable 2 voice actor.
It's time for everybody's favorite
Ron
segment.
Glass.
It's Jim Googles it.
Ron Glass. Oh, this is the guy. He played He was the Shepherd. He was the Shepherd Book in Firefly and Serenity.
Oh. I know that guy too. Oh, look at this. The main page of IMDb has a little salute to Supernatural on it. Stars of Supernatural then and now.
All right. So anyway, Reaver, the pirate, is in Bloodstone. Bum, bum, bum. Are we excited about making our way to a new area?
I am.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, is this where the Cullis Gate fucks up? So you're supposed to go back to Brightwood, right?
Yes. So we go back to Brightwood. So the only way to get to Bloodstone is through the Wraith Marsh, and you have to take a Cullis Gate to get to the Wraith Marsh, and the only Cullis Gate that'll take you to the Wraith Marsh is in Brightwood Tower. That's occupied by Spire guards, because that's Garth's home, I guess.
Yeah, they're looking for the escapee Garth.
So you have to kind of assault Brightwood Tower. It's kind of neat. They give you like, you've gone there several times, but you kind of just walked right in. And now he's like, ooh, the front's too fortified. We got to go through this back path. And it was a fun little area. You fight a bunch of Spire guards. Some shards show up at the end. Garth, has to activate the Cullis Gate, which in game terms translates to he has to shoot lightning at the ground for 5 fucking minutes, and you and Hammer have to keep a bunch of dudes off of him. But that was super easy because I kept freezing them in place and then knocking them all out before they could do anything. This game's dumb. What did y'all think of this? Was this fun?
I liked fighting alongside Garth and Hammer.
Yeah, I like that part.
I like having Hammer around a lot.
I didn't really like the enemy wave part because I don't care for enemy waves.
I agree with that. You do, there's some good dialogue there as well. Hammer's just crushing stuff and is a lot of fun. I have to admit, I really liked playing with her in this and in the thing last time. She's grown on me a lot. She's great. Mm-hmm. And Garth is kind of a dick and also will fall behind and then run up. So Garth fucking ran by me at top speed. And as he ran by, yelled you go too fast! And I was that's hilarious. Yeah. You fucking dork.
He's pretty great.
I'll run, but then I'll go down a side path and be I bet there's a treasure chest here.
Yeah. He and Hammer fight.
I also stop and play with my dog a lot.
It's a good dog.
I know. It's great. And it is, if they make another Fable game, you better have a fucking dog.
I like that, when you upgrade the dog enough, because one of the things that was really frustrating for me with the combat is I was always knocking guys over, but I could never, find the right pixel to stand on to finish them off when they're knocked down, and they would eventually get back up, but if you level up the dog enough, the dog will go and just, rip the throat out of any enemy that you knock on the ground, and it's awesome.
He also changes along with you. My dog is, dark. It's not black because sometimes you can see some red and brown in him, but he's really darkly colored and he does have glowing red eyes. And I did give him a collar that's all spikes.
My dog turned into a golden retriever.
I did. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Yep.
I did also name my dog Benin, as we discussed.
Nice. I told John that I had named my dog Pushul, just like he had, and then I went and I checked the dog's name, and it is Jupus. Not Pushul. It's named after Jupus Tuki, another fan favorite character.
So Garth shoots lightning at the Cullis Gate for long enough, and he activates it, and you go through it, and you get to Wraith Marsh, and the Cullis Gate. I don't know. It doesn't really blow up or anything, right? It just kind of they're just oh, Cullis Gate doesn't work. You're alone.
Yeah, they're just whoop, it messed up.
You got to reset your game. No. So you and your dog do appear on the other side of the Cullis Gate, and there's this whole kind of quick thing. You get hurt, and like you get knocked out, or you like faint or whatever, and then this old guy named Greg finds you and he puts you in a cage, and he tells you that your dog is probably dead.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to the sketch, do you think, from Mighty Boosh?
I don't know what the timeline is.
What's older, Mighty Boosh or Fable 2? And I kind of want to look it up.
That's Jim's job.
Yeah, Jim, you look that up.
Okay.
So you and the Mighty Boosh, like, laughs at you and says that your dog's probably dead. And then he's like, you're not from Bloodstone, so fuck you. I'm going to, like, burn you alive. It's really fucked up.
And then, like, the fog rolls in, and he's just like, oh, what's this? Oh, fog. Or I'll just walk into this fog, and then you just hear
this guy
scream.
that supposedly, like, fucking lives here does just wander into the fog in what we quickly learn is banshee-infested area. And we do have to fight some banshees. And you know what? They're not hard.
Nope. But your dog does come with the key, which is fun.
Oh, yeah. So Garth, is it Garth? No. It's Greg. Old Greg. Mighty Boosh wanders off into the fog and gets killed, and then your dog does come. I think Teresa, like, scares off whatever killed him, right? Is that what happens?
Teresa does.
No, because she's just, like, talking to you, and she's like, it's hard for me to get through because the fog causes a lot of interference, but you can hear me now. You're all alone there, and then the dog comes with the key, and she's like, well, not quite alone. Hee. And,
yeah.
You get the key from the dog, and then you're off into the Wraith Marsh.
Yep, and right at the entrance to the Wraith Marsh is a sign that says Oakvale. So the Wraith Marsh is Oakvale from the first game. That was our hometown in the first game that got destroyed and then got rebuilt. And then you, I think, did destroy or had the option to destroy again. The game seems to imply that it did get destroyed again. But then we're going to learn a little bit more about that later.
It's very sad. It's very swampy. There are many hollow men. There are banshees. And a banshee fights by first summoning, like, little imps. Like 5 or 6
they all look
imps.
like little girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look like little pigtailed kids.
Yeah, and they're like, hee, we're gonna kill you. And then you kill them, and the banshee has its hands over its face like a weeping angel. And
yeah, then you can smack it.
Yeah, when it removes its hands, what I did is just shoot it in the face. And one round of bullets from my gun would take it down.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I had to. There were two-parters for me. I was able to, like, get them to half health with my first barrage of, like, melee attacks. But when I came back with the Daichi, it was a lot easier.
Yeah, you can get them in just a few swings with the Daichi.
Y'all gotta get that fucking Daichi. It's so easy. That Arkan's Knot dungeon is a joke. It's like 3 rooms with very simple puzzles in them. There's no enemies. It's 3 very simple fucking shoot the thing to make the thing open like, puzzles.
There's like 2 shoot the thing ones, I think, and 1 expression statue
that's
puzzle.
Right. There's 1 expression statue that's super easy. And then as you walk out, it's like, here's the most powerful sword in the game, just sitting in a chest by the fucking entrance. So stupid. It's nonsense. It's got destruction. So it's got like 98 attack, and then it's got destruction, which says that a destruction augment, which says that it raises the attack, and then it has a lightning augment, which gives it lightning damage as well. And it's a samurai sword, so it's fast. Anyway, we fight some banshees, and I mean that's kind of it. Wraith Marsh is kind of neat. It's like foggy and it's a swamp, but it's pretty short, and we make our way to Bloodstone.
There's a troll.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Vanessa. That's right. At the end of the trail is a swamp troll.
They see me troll and
talk about
it's another troll. All the trolls do the same thing.
It's a big
troll. He
troll.
does more and harder, which annoyed me. Like he hit me hard.
Does? Really?
I went through a lot of potions with this guy. He kept fucking knocking me over. Anyway, so you fight the swamp troll, and then you head into Bloodstone. Bum, bum, bum. We get like a cool cutscene of Bloodstone, and it shows off the town, and it looks great. I love Bloodstone. Tell me about Bloodstone.
Bloodstone's like a gothic-looking port town, and it's full of seemingly full of like criminals and sex workers and
yeah. There are so many toots in this fucking, like, the first thing. Men, female and male, toots, scantily clad. hanging out, offering their fucking wares. It's pretty great, actually. I kind of liked it. You just walk into town, and it's just prostitutes and fucking a bar and like a tattoo parlor.
Mm-hmm. And sailors.
Are there prostitutes in this game anywhere else?
Yeah.
I don't remember having
There's
come into contact with them before this.
There's prostitutes in Bowerstone.
Is there?
In the starting area. What's it called? Old Town. There's prostitutes in Old Town.
I've never seen any down there. Maybe it's because I reformed Old Town.
I wonder if... Did you?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're... Now I kind of am curious, and we'll have to go look. I wonder if they're prostitutes or if I've just been propositioned by women that are in love with me.
Well, I know at the remodeled Whitecliff there is a small brothel, but nothing like this town.
You mentioned that.
My favorite is a guy named Jez the Whore. That's just his name. It's not a judgment. And I sent some pictures the other night to the group chat of him. He wears sort of like kind of
like a codpiece.
Yeah, it's like a codpiece / apron. His belly hangs out, and then in the back you just see the apron drawstring, and he has like high stockings, and his butt is just fully hanging out there.
I'm almost hesitant to really talk about it, and I feel like we should put it in our pockets until next time when John can come and tell us about Jez the Whore.
Yeah.
And do you think that he's a John crush?
Well, that's what I thought, which is why I sent him pictures and got very excited about him for John. He is bisexual, so shouldn't be a problem there. And he just looks great. He has like this giant belt buckle across his chest. And he's living his best life.
So he's dressed like a Final Fantasy character.
Yeah, like if they, you know how they always dress Final Fantasy characters and then they give them like a little scrap of cloth to cover their butt. He looks like that, but without.
So he's dressed like a dressed like a Final Fantasy character, like who is a woman, because that's how they design him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We play some great games on this show. So we go to Bloodstone. The cutscene tells us that Reaver lives in the biggest house in town. It's at the top of the hill, so we head up there. And Reaver, listen, I don't even know that I can talk about it. Vanessa, tell me about Reaver, because I fucking love this guy. I want to be his best friend.
Love Reaver, too. You walk into his house, and he is posing for a statue. That's being
let's
carved
paint the
of
picture.
Him.
He is standing there on one leg propped up, or like knee up on like
hands on hips.
He's holding a pistol, and he's like holding it up in the air next to his head, and he's got the other hand on his hip.
Yeah, and he's wearing he
looks like the captain.
Yeah,
he looks like Captain Morgan.
Yeah, he's doing Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
He is.
He is, and he's dressed like that too.
He
also,
is.
voiced by Stephen Fry.
Mm-hmm. And he has
Stephen Fry, the British comedian guy.
Yeah, for the
really?
QI
Wow.
guy. And he has like portraits of himself all over the room. And he's like, you've come to visit. You've obviously come to visit me because of my renown. Who else would you be here to visit? Ha ha!
Oh yeah, he's got a real posh accent too, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's super British. Well, yeah, it's Stephen Fry. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he's great. He's very tall and handsome. And I do love him a little bit. But things went south for us. You have written down here something that did not happen to me. So I wonder if it has to do with alignment, or maybe you didn't really finish the chunker and you're just pretending.
Are you talking about the renown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it also could be that I had just not done enough side quests. So maybe this was just kind of on me. For me, when I got there, he was like, "Oh, you're kind of a nobody. Like nobody really knows who you are. So you need to go." And I had to go earn like another 5,000 renown.
I'm pretty sure I did too.
That did not happen to me at all.
But if you had, well, my point is, I think that probably if you had gathered enough renown already, you were probably already past the number, so you probably got a different...
What did he tell Vanessa?
He sent me on a whole quest, and I'm sort of...
Oh, is this where he gives you the shadow seal or whatever?
Yeah. That's after the...
Oh, okay.
So for me, he did say you have to go get renown. So at this point, I thought we could do like a little side quest corner, because... But if that's not true for everybody, I'll just talk about my side quest, which was great. I went to the inn... and because I needed to earn some renown. And I went to the inn, and there was a drunk man there who it was the fucking crack of dawn, and there was a very drunk man who wanted me to buy him a beer. I don't remember his name, but he did, when I bought him a beer, he did tell me the story of a ghost pirate that did give him a frighten, and he told me where to find that ghost pirate, which I had to go out kind of beyond Bloodstone to find it, and there is a cave that you go into, and I fought my way through and did have to kill a whole shitload of ghost pirates.
Oh, no.
And there was a ghost pirate captain that was cool. It was a design. He had a captain's hat on, he had a skeleton for head. It was cool. And I fought him, and he yelled at me. I killed the pirate captain, and then his ship was he had a real ship, not a ghost ship. And so I did go steal the ship, and it did tell me ooh, the something guided your hand and you just knew where to go. And it took me to a place called Lion's Head Isle. And on Lion's Head Isle, it tells you there are 10 treasure chests. And as you go and find them, which is just a kind of a short little, outside, nature area, with some ponds to dive into and some cliffs and some shipwrecks on the beach where you kind of pull up on your ship. And it does tell you there are 10 treasure chests, and each one has 1,500 gold. So I did get 20,000 gold just to go hang out. And then you can go back to the bar, I think, and talk to the guy again. And I think you give him the ship, I guess. I don't really know. I kind of didn't pay attention.
He's happy to see the ship and happy that you've proven that he's sane. Did you have any trouble finding the 10 chests?
I did not. It was super easy. They're just laying around.
Yeah, okay, cool. Me neither.
I mean, I had to hunt for a few, but none of them, it took me 20 minutes to find them.
There was one that took me a long time to find that's to the left of a cliff that you have to jump off of.
Yeah, that was the last one I found too, actually.
Me too.
Yeah, that one's so hard to find.
I just kept circling and being where have I not poked my head in yet? It doesn't seem too hard to find stuff in this game.
I had to do a Google for that one.
What about you, Jim? Did you do any side quests here? Did you have to earn renown?
I did. I did the Toby quest. So you run past this guy's house when you're on your way to Reaver, and you can go in the house, and he's having a conversation with a lady. And I think he calls her sister something, but he explains that he's the head of. His name is Toby, and he's the head of the Temple of Benevolent Yokels. And he asks if you want to be a member, and so you have to find these artifacts for him. But the artifacts, in order of what he gives you to get, one is a mutton chop, one is some wine, and the last one is a prostitute.
Yeah.
And it's clear that he's obviously he's a con man.
Yeah, I did this one too, and he's you have to get the sacred mutton chop of happiness.
Yeah, and then the wine of forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And I went and killed him.
I didn't kill him after I got all the stuff, and I did get negative points for it too, evil stealing points, because he's just sending you to steal other people's shit.
I didn't kill him, but when I went to steal the wine, the couple that lived in the house caught me, and I just went to run away, but they followed me all the way back to Toby's house. And as Toby was explaining what the next quest was, they were just screaming at me.
Oh, no.
And so I murdered them.
Jim,
I felt like they were gonna mess up the quest. I was gonna soft lock it.
Yeah. So after I brought him all this stuff, he is revealed to be a con artist by someone else on the street. And they're you should kill him. Or just scare him till he leaves town. So I went into his house. First you have to pound on the door, and he's I'm busy. But if you keep knocking, he'll open it up. And then I made scary faces at him until he ran out of town.
I roared at him until he was so scared he left.
Yeah. It's oh, too scary. And the prostitute was still there, and she really liked my roaring. She was clapping for it. She's yeah, scare him.
I love how they clap and they're yay.
Yay, do it again. Although I did not have to get some more renown, I did do a side quest. There is a farmer in the Brightwood. He's the guy who you helped out last time by delivering him the bandit that was plaguing him. And he is looking for a wife for his son. So you go, and he's like, yeah, I wish my son would have a wife so he could, like, farm and carry on our legacy. But he's really bad with women.
I feel like there was a quest like this in the first game.
There sort of was. In the first game, the guy made you dress up in, like, a ridiculous outfit to woo his daughter. And then turned out she didn't exist. He was just making fun of you. So
that's fun, actually.
Yeah, so in this one, you get a photograph of the boy, and he's like, why don't you go into the field and see what kind of a woman he wants? I'm so excited for him to have a wife, like I did. I had a wife. It was great. So you go out to see him, and he's like, the truth is, I don't want to go on a date with a woman. With any woman. You understand? I don't want to go on a date with a woman. And I was like, I got you, kid. So then it's like, why don't you take his picture to Bloodstone and show it around and pick someone for him to have a date with. So I got to Bloodstone and stood in the town square, and everyone rushed towards me with hearts over their head because they love me. Those big red I love you hearts. And I stood in the crowd and scanned it until I saw a man that did not have a big red I love you heart over his head. And I said, that's my guy. I checked out his stats. He was the blacksmith and he is gay. So I showed him the picture of the son and he was like, he's perfect. Please give him this letter with my stats on it. And it was like, blacksmith, the 5'7", cut, that kind of stuff. So I took it back to the farm and walked right in the door and gave it to the son. And the son was like, oh, my. And the dad was like, so did you get him a date with a woman? And the son goes, she got me a date. And he's like, what? And the son's like, I don't want to date women. And then the dad was like, you mean you're... And he's like, mm-hmm. And the dad goes, ha ha ha, how could I not realize? I'm so dumb. I set you up with this girl. And the son's like, yeah, she tried to take my clothes off. It was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. And the dad's like, I'm sorry. And he says, yeah, I don't want to date a woman, and I really don't want to be a farmer. And the dad is like, I guess I'll just stay here with my farm while you move to the city. And the son's like, no, you won't. You'll come live with me and my new boyfriend. And the dad's like, hooray! And they all run off into the sunset, happy together.
And then you can
That's
buy
surprisingly
the farm.
sweet.
Yeah, it says you can buy the farm. I couldn't find the sign where it was for sale.
It's just right in front of the little house where you're in.
Oh, okay. I need to go back and look for it. I probably don't have enough gold. But yeah, it's a nice farm. It was a good quest. It was sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet. So that's how we all earned enough renown to have Reaver finally notice us, senpai. And you go back to Reaver, or I went back to Reaver, and he told me that, hey, you're cool now. So I'm gonna have you do a favor for me, bro. There's this thingy on a table over there. Go take it. He wants you to take it to the Shadow Court, which is in the Wraith Marsh. And he says that he just basically is like, you have to deliver this. I don't remember the exact speech. Do you remember it, Vanessa?
He's just like, you've done a lot of stuff for Albion, but nothing for me. So just take this to the Court of Shadows. It'll be super cool. Just bring it to them.
Yeah, and yes, he does. He's like, oh, this is going to be great. You're going to love this. And then as soon as you walk out of the house, Teresa does tell you that the Shadow Court destroyed Oakvale, and that there is more to this task than Reaver lets on. It's super obvious that this is...
It's something shady. Yeah, and Teresa had said earlier that a hero had destroyed Oakvale, and I think maybe it was Reaver.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I kind of assumed that they meant us.
Nah, I think it was Reaver.
Anyway, so we head through the Wraith Marsh. You follow the trail or whatever. It's fine. You find a couple more banshees, and then you do. I will say here, this when we had to gather renown is when I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go get that Daichi," because you can't do it until after you go to the Wraith Marsh. You have to go open that Cullis gate, I guess. Anyway, you go to the Shadow Court. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this, to be honest with you. You go to the Shadow Court. It's like a giant building in the middle of the swamp. And you go in. You can hear a woman crying the whole time. It's kind of legit disturbing. And you just kind of fight your way down through like a bunch of monsters.
They're shadow monsters, shadow versions of monsters you've fought before. So like Shadow Hobbs, Shadow Bandits, and Shadow Balverines.
More enemy types, please. There's like 4.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So you fight all these shadow enemy types, and you get to the bottom, and there's a woman that's like crying there. And she tells you that she read from a strange book and just kind of appeared here. And then 3 shadow judges appear on like golden thrones in the center of this room. And they tell you that for Reaver to remain beautiful, one of you has to sacrifice yourself, basically. It's going to suck out, they're going to suck out all of your youth.
Your youth and beauty.
Old and ugly.
Mm-hmm. And they say that Reaver sends people all the time. And when he stops sending them, then they'll go after Reaver to collect. So I think what happened to Oakvale is like he sent all the villagers one by one to their doom.
Maybe. I don't know. What did y'all do? You have the Dark Seal that you picked up in Reaver's place, and you can either hand it to this crying woman or you can keep it. I did hand it to the crying woman, and then I did use the point and laugh thingy emoticon.
Wow.
Well, she got her youth sucked out of her, and then she did like run away screaming while my character pointed and laughed at her. I'm evil, okay? That's the character. Why would I lose all my youth and beauty when I can just hand it to this poor sap that also happens to be here?
This was really difficult for me because, as regular listeners know, all I ever want in a role-playing game is to play the prettiest, nicest princess of all. But, it turns out you can be a beautiful sinner or an ugly saint. And this girl was just like, I just want to see my mom again. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to hang on to this and face the music. So I did. They did suck out all of my youth and beauty. My eyes turned red and my beautiful blonde hair turned gray and my skin became old and wrinkled. And I was like, well, shoot. But then I checked my stats and I've been walking around in a full noblewoman's outfit. And turns out I'm still at max attractiveness. So I'm like, sweet, this is what beauty looks like. And I was like, wow, isn't that a lesson for all of us? Just age graciously and you'll still be beautiful. Jim,
if you're beautiful on the inside, you're even more beautiful on the outside.
Oh, that's true.
I had the exact experience as Vanessa. I went after they sucked all of my beauty out, and I was, when you're able to, I went and upgraded my hairstyle, and I actually like the way that I look.
I may have mentioned this in the last episode. My character is so evil that he has horns and glowing red eyes and like gray cracked skin. So I had to balance out my self so that people could deal with me
interact
in town. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my look right now is all the noble gent stuff, which the coat just makes you look like you have a fucking big old beer belly, even if you don't. It's really a terrible design. And it's got a silly pirate hat. And I had to get that so that I was attractive, and I had to give myself a mullet and a super long, snidely whiplash mustache, which had those had ridiculous buffs, And I needed that to, like, counteract the evil, because otherwise people were too scared to talk to me. So I look dumb regardless.
Yeah, I
but
have
I
a
am
halo.
at, like, max attractiveness.
Yeah. I have a halo over my head, which I think helps with the attractiveness a lot. And it also illuminates dark areas, which is fun.
That's cool. That's really cool. So anyway, that's it. So you head back to Bloodstone and you talk
Can we explain what this has to do with Reaver? Did we do that?
I think we did.
Yeah,
we talked about how it keeps him beautiful.
Okay. Keeps him beautiful.
He's beautiful.
That's what makes him beautiful.
It is. And there's going to be a lot more here, but we're going to cut it there before we start this next quest, which is the Assault on Bloodstone. So that's it. And next week, we're going to finish we're going to talk about the end of the game, because we're going to finish it. And hopefully by the next episode, we'll have a winner in this poll we're about to talk about. But first, since John's not around to do his bullshit minigame corner, we got to jump right into Squarely Against. Vanessa.
I guess I'm squarely against my own vanity, which did nearly make me choose a horrible fate for a stranger. However, in thinking about vanity in general, I mean, everyone likes to feel attractive, if only to themselves, and everyone has an aesthetic. I don't think there's anything wrong with making yourself look the way that you think looks nice, but I guess you have to draw the line when your own efforts to make yourself look nice is harming somebody else. So think about that the next time you buy some cosmetics. Jim, what are you squarely against?
You know, I'm squarely against this.
Also squarely against testing on rabbits or whatever. Like, for real.
This game's lack of depth. This game, there's not much to it, man.
Yeah, there's not. That's kind of the big flaw with Fable.
The mechanics are super simple, which is okay. But, like, when you've done it, you've done it.
Yep.
Like you can manipulate every character in the game very easily. You can manipulate all the systems in this game very easily. But yeah, this game, I feel like it could have done with just like a little more dimension. There's just not much to it. Yeah. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, pick me. I am roundly for the way you can manipulate this dumb game. I did learn, I meant to mention this in the episode, so I'll just tell the story now. I did learn that if you kill the owner of a shop, the price of the shop does decrease drastically. So I did learn that, and there is a Jack the Ripper-esque stalker. A Jack the Ripper-esque killer stalking the streets of Bowerstone, luring people away to places like the Hobbs Cave and murdering them to buy up their real estate for dirt cheap. It's just such a fucking stupid, silly thing to put in the game. You know, I've said this, the game, it does make me feel like a twinge of guilt sometimes, and I kind of wish it wouldn't in a way. Like, if you're gonna have a morality system, like, just let me have fun being evil. And this game does do that a lot. It just also sometimes is like, you're also a piece of shit. But I do love the idea that, you know, like, oh, by the way, if you killed the fucking homeowner, house is way cheaper. Like, oh, that's a good point. Come here, ma'am. Let me lure you away from your children out to the woods.
Wow.
And chop your head off.
Wow. You know, sometimes I wonder why I have so much less money than my friends who are also playing the game. And then I remember it's because I'm a good person.
That was the start of it, actually. I also was dealing with being broke all the time. Not broke, but like... I was having problems, and that's kind of why I was like, ooh, fuck this. Like, because once you, because this actually happened right before we left for Bloodstone. So the entire time I was in Wraith Marsh, like every 2 minutes, it would just pop up like, you made fucking like 600 more gold. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. This is fantastic. You just make money from walking around. Vanessa, how did you squarely against?
I already went.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're to the next time.
No, we already did the next time.
We don't know what we're doing.
John, come back.
John does not do any of this stuff. This is all stuff we do every fucking
He's
week.
a rudder, though. You know?
Vanessa was going to tell us about the Patreon.
I was going to tell you about the Patreon.
No emails this week. So why don't we talk about...
Let's talk about the Patreon. I'm going to call it Patreon in honor of our missing companion.
We love you, John. We're sorry that you didn't make it on this episode.
We are. You are our rudder. Matt is our stern.
That feels like an insult.
Jim is our port. And I am, of course, the bow.
Starboard.
And I am the starboard. Yeah, we got a Patreon. Sometimes if you are a Patreon subscriber...
Talk about the poll.
I'm about to. Oh, my God.
Talk about the poll.
At the $5 level, you can vote in our poll on what we play next. Right now, there is a poll going on for our next game. The contenders are Vagrant Story, Fallout 3, Parasite, Eve 2, and something else. Oh, Trials of Mana. I remember. Look at that.
Trials of Mana.
Stunningly, Vagrant Story is in the lead.
Yep. The result no one expected.
The result no one expected, and I do demand a audit, a recount. Fallout 3 won the poll. Fallout 3 is winning. Fallout 3 is won.
Garbage.
Fallout 3 is won. That's the result of the poll. So you should go, and if by some error your vote has been tabulated for Vagrant Story.
I hate this joke.
Yeah, me too. It does feel dirty, doesn't it?
Ugh.
Yeah. But if you are not a subscriber at the $5 level and instead give $3 a month, you get to access all of our bonus content. There's at least 40 episodes in there of just...
Yeah, it's a ton.
Stuff
Instant
and bullshit.
Classics, versus episodes.
Yeah, other things.
Yeah, other random fun stuff we've done.
Yeah, sometimes we just do whatever we feel like.
If you like listening to us enough to listen to us talk about these games, you'll enjoy that too, honestly. It's fun.
Lots of original content.
And if you are a subscriber at any level, you get the amazing perk of having your name read by us at the end of the show. And
oh no.
Now it's time to read it. Because John isn't here, we all have a heftier share than usual, so we're going to try to fly through this. Here we go.
That felt like more like a command than a request, but I would like to thank Cyril the Wolf, Soy Soda Pop, Tom, Brian Pitt, Chris Ryan, Carson Clark, Paul Bursch. Molyneux later apologized for promising if an acorn falls from a tree, it will grow a T-Bumpkins later in the game. OMG, what is this game? That applies to every game we play. David Green, Joseph, Chili's, Baby Back Luigi. Hey, they finally changed it. And John's not here. He's the one that demanded that they change it. Wedge-kun, Ari Kapovara, Aaron J.L. O'Toole, Stu Skeel, Ron, Christopher Highness, supporting Black Lives Matter, Ethan G. Pearson, Nathan Poirot, Mary, Queen of Scoffs, Cameron Shoei, Sam Harrison, Wonder Swan, Robert J. Defendi, A Sad Sack of Broken Molyneux Promises, The Ghosts of Johnny's Murdered Fable's Husbands. That's a good one. Joshua Bennett, Listen Up, Squoot Stains, Yuck Me Harder, Donald, EP, Alexander Jokic, Florian Jonas Kramer, Bree Girth, Matt Jorgensen, hey pal, I Am Homer, Son of Fergus, Third of My Line, Conqueror of Nashville, and Franklin, born in the Columbian District. That's a lot. Sean Gonzalez, the RPG Luminary, Andy Smith, Dan, Jim's Chocobo has seen things, horrifying things. That's true. He's talking about Bathroom Chocobo. Hudson Roth, Jake Dickerson, and Vanessa's mom, TM.
Gray Code, Ward Childress, Ross Hartley, Chicken Chaser, Hexagon, Robert M. Pullum, Crucible, Andrew O., Alex Dillard, Eye of the Shifter, Megan Sullivan, Andy Best, Miguel Torres, Matthew Newland, Metal Gear Solid 1 in 2021, Nawford, Tyler Petty, Andy M., Amanda Douglas, Wash in the Wind, Jason Timms, Cake Ninja, Stephen Paget, that one guy. Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is Robot in Greece. Kevin Walter, Christian Go, Sergeant Spaghetti, Armin Hammer, vote Trials of Mana for more Cuslin that smokin' hot mana jokes in 2021. Chris Wilder, Jonathan Smith, Justin Rash Grayson, Andrew Leinhart, Lyral of the Claral, Jordan McNeil, Saving Sid, Garbage Orphan World Savers, LLC, Chief Hazard, Built Mostly Rational Person, Fable is great, but so is Threads of Fate. Play it in 2021 or the Cuzzle will still drizzle gallons and gallons all over the squoots. Insert clever name here. Tracy Hales, it's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. TJ Miller's horny grandma impersonation, journey to the center of the girth. Dylan Rowe, fresh eyes.
Devin Sloan, Vanessa's IRL mom, I swear. Justin Ham, Robert T., Sean, Race Jenkins, Taiwan Gordon, I challenge the other Tracy to a duel to the pain. Sean Walsh, Aaron Bachman, Vanessa's mother's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate, Samu Mitchell, Isaac Wright, Michael Vanessa. Crawford, Jonathan Ellsworth, Citrus C, Joshua W. Broxson, Ashley T, WWE Mike G, Eric Garb, Ryan Miller, Adam Zimmerman, Benjamin Avner, still not sure what the frozen flame was, Huxley Iguana, PJ Enns, and Chris Penyak.
Neither is Jim because he didn't finish the fucking game.
We also want to thank Gage Lacherte, Vanessa's Gold, Taco Bell PS5, Fable 2, Fable Goes West has less John Cleese than I remember, Dr. Fine, Say Everyone's Name, Aidan Marriott, Jared Collins, DeJethro, Matthew Casterline, Jameson, Cassandra, William Westgod, Vanessa's fourth mom, You Make Sulk Sad, and George Brady.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to reach us by email, we are squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group, for smart, cool, very attractive people, or you can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, everyone. Well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Fenzant.
I was going to try to do a John Brandon impression, but I don't even really know where to begin with that.
Well, you got to start with a Canadian accent.
Well, I'm John Brandon.
That's not a Canadian accent.
That's vaguely European.
John sort of sounds like, Vanessa, it's me, John.
That sounds nothing like John.
He's hard to do. I'm Vanessa.
Bye.